Amber, you say, I love geekyOlhog, and then everyone else says it, and then I will do the sound.
Okay. I love geekyOlhog.
You next.
Oh, that's it. He's got you now. That's it.
Anyway, shall I do it?
Go for it.
Are we all good?
Bonjour, everyone.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Oh, in sickness and in health, we've all stayed together. We're still here. Yes.
Long time.
That's good. Yeah. Well, it's been a long time, but
There's not a lot happened.
I was about to say that.
Come on, it's like, please, let's have something to talk about.
Are we really going to talk about Rebel Moon for this whole podcast?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I've literally just tried to watch more of it tonight.
Who put your hands up or shout out yay if you've tried to watch it?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I watched the whole thing, surprisingly.
Oh, you've done better than me.
Amber, come on. What, really? Did you?
Well, I mean, what can I say? I was sick, so they didn't really have much to do, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I must have done the first hour, and all I can say is boring.
It's very boring.
I done about the first 40
attempt,
minutes.
My first attempt was literally just a few minutes, and then it was just like I just switched off.
Yeah.
I think I can't remember how far I got in tonight. I don't know the time. We had the slow motion farming and the slow motion drinking of the water.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Kind of where I got to, and I was like, oh, I've had enough.
I got to about 40 minutes in, and it was when I know exactly when it was.
Go on.
It was when they went around all the characters. So you had Cora, the main girl, and then it had her flashback to when like the royal family got assassinated.
And they was all talking about they was all telling their origin story.
Yeah, and then the next scene was the next character, then telling their backstory. Yeah. And the next scene was the next character doing their backstory. And I don't normally do this in films. I fell asleep. I don't normally do this, but I fell asleep.
No,
I woke up with about 10 minutes left, and then just watched that 10 minutes, and then that was it. And I didn't try again.
I kept napping and waking up and thinking, oh, it must be kicking off in a minute, and it didn't. And then I was napping again. So unless it was all kicking off and there was a bit of action or momentum while I was napping, I found it very pedestrian. And
was there actually any fight scenes?
I don't think there was.
This is right. So this is the bit that got me about the slow mo. Now, okay, number one was bad. Part one was bad. I didn't go back to watch it. I don't even think I've completed that one either. But at least the slow motion action was in the right place in terms of the fight scenes. Although it was bad, it was in the right place. Like I said, slow motion chopping down the corn and the wheat and slow motion drink. It's just like, oh my God, really?
No, I thought the corn shot was good.
Yeah, it was probably about they found the corn.
They found it. You knew, Tayters, you knew where I was going with that one, didn't you?
Funny that.
I don't know about you, but I found the acting was quite bad in this one as well. I don't know if I noticed it as much in the first one. Exactly. I thought the dialogue and the acting was so bad.
I don't know if it's the actors, because like they actually had some good ones in there, but the script was just so corny. It was so cringe.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes you got to wonder, like, what are you supposed to do with this? Or these characters even?
Well, the thing is, there's another edition of this coming out in August. So it's part 1 and part 2 again coming out in the same day in August, but it's R-rated and it's in like an extra hour long each.
Awesome.
I don't think I can do it.
If the main woman in it was a bit of a salt, then I'd think, oh yeah, I'll watch an R-rated version of that. You know what I mean? I know that. She's like a 14-year-old boy. Like you're not. you know, on that level, and I know it's very base, and sorry to degrade the hogCAST at this early stage. She's not exactly someone that you think, oh yeah, I'd have a bit of that. You know, like it starts off and they're having, think, oh yeah, I'd be on a spaceship with her till the end of the black hole universe. But she's too boyish. Like literally, it's like
don't go there.
All I have to say.
A part of me wonders though, like I think she was supposed to be like the prince. I mean, her cape was great. I loved her cape. It was so lightweight and flowy. I kept on thinking this is like it follows the hero's journey pretty decently, but it doesn't do anything creative. The characters are just not that charismatic and their backstories weren't interesting enough. I felt like, I don't know, it was like somebody, you know, when the Lord of the Rings came out and then you had every other book afterwards that came out with it was just a retelling of Lord of the Rings. I kind of felt like that's what this was. This was a retelling of a story that we've heard a million times, but there was nothing super interesting or creative about any of the characters that made me care about them. So I didn't give a shit about what they were doing or what was at stake. Like I waited forever for that final battle to happen. There was no action in that second movie for like the first hour and a half. I don't know. It was ridiculous.
And didn't he say this was supposed to, the first one was the setup and this is the action movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit like with June, like with June 2, like, oh my God, that was
started right, hit the ground running.
Yeah, but this
and this is the thing as well. Like June 1 didn't really have that much action, and there's a lot of setup in June Part 1, but how they delivered it was amazing. And I think you could arguably compare June 1 and 2 is how you do a two-parter epic, and Rebel Moon 1 and 2 is how you don't do it. Essentially.
So there is a lesson.
There's a lesson there somewhere. There's a lesson learned there.
I agree with Amber. I through watching this, remembering some of the scenes from the first one and watching some of this one, it's like you've got scenes from other movies, and it's just like, oh, that's a good scene. That's a good scene. Let's just mishmash them all into this thing and hope everyone loves it. It just not at all.
So nobody here finished it. Who finished it?
No.
Not you, not you. Okay, I'm the only one who finished it. It actually surprised me at the end.
Technically, I did finish it because I saw a bit of it, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Spoiler, Amber. What happened at the end?
So she faces off with that, you know, Nazi guy again.
Yeah.
And it's this big epic duel between the two of them. And she's getting strangled. She's on her back and he's up on top of her, strangling her. And that wimpy farmer guy saves her. He thrusts a lightsaber through him, and then the guy dies. I know, I saw that dog. And then
when he got stabbed with a lightsaber, though, there is one.
Well, it turns out he lived through that, but then she closes him in a elevator door, and he gets like pinned there, and then she grabs the lightsaber from the farmer guy and cuts the guy's head off. In the meantime, though, the ship is crashing. Like all this is happening on that giant ship as it is descending to Earth in smoke and flames. Like they're having this epic duel. And she and the guy escape. They crash land. Well, they kind of land, I guess, on Earth. And he's dying, and then he dies. And she's like, how come I don't get this one thing?
That crash landing, there's plenty of time because that crash landing is doing this.
Yes, it is. It was just like that.
Just slow.
I mean, there was nothing horrible, I feel, about this story, but it was just like when you have such a budget and all this talent behind everything, like why would you waste it on this story? There's nothing charismatic or interesting about it. It was just bland.
Yeah, definitely. And he's got to control his urges for this slow-mo as well. It's too much. It's too much. I mean, The Matrix did it well, but back in the day, and that's kind of everyone tried to copy The Matrix. But the bullet time. But The Matrix had a reason for doing it because it's bullet time. So it adds to the story. And okay, there's some cool bits. Exactly, but there's some cool bits in films that followed like where you accentuate a certain move in a fight scene with a slow-mo, but doing it for everything, like you say, Taters, just even taking a drink, it's way too much.
Ridiculous.
This way, and Snyder's always used slow-mo because he used it in 300, didn't he?
I know, but you don't
but that worked.
see the guy filling his canteen in slow motion and then drink. No, just absolutely not necessary. And then the end credits go.
And in 300, I think, I don't know whether it's to do with the cinematography, the directing and the writing all combined, but somehow, like Matrix, there was a poetry to it. There was a synergy to it. So there would be moments where in 300 where they'd be running forward with the spears, and then suddenly, but there would be narration over it. You'd have the bloke saying, "Oh yeah, we took on 1,000 of the whatever it was," and you'd have the bloke jumping on the shield, and it would work. It fit. It was part of the storytelling. But when you just and with the Matrix, when you had that, the helicopter gunship, and it was a crescendo. All the bullet casings falling out of the sky and the water in it was a crescendo. It was this. But when you just use slow-mo, even in an 80s action film, when you're just walking away from an explosion and it's all slow, and you do it at once. But when you just throw it in for no reason, I wouldn't mind if it was gratuitous slow motion. So Sam Peckinpah back in the day, and he was lambasted all the time because they called it the glorification of violence, didn't they? If any of you know Wild Bunch or Major Dundee or all them westerns he did, because what he did is he used slow motion when people were getting shot and the bullets were going through, and he would just show one or two, but it would be slow. But it would be part of the whole. It would be part of the whole experience of, and that's the only word I can think of is the poetry of it, the movement, the momentum of it all. But
I wonder if there's been some research into, like, do people get pulled out of the moment when it turns to slow-mo?
They must do, Amber. They must do, because it's, well, as the actress said to the bishop, it pulled me out. No, but it has for all of us. It has. And do you know what? I really did want to love this, because I think Zach is there. I think he's there. And I think he, if he was the fifth little frame in this hogCAST, he'd be going, "Oh yeah, I love this and I love that and I love whatever." But when they're given too much rope, they just hang themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
He's done more stuff that I've enjoyed.
Yeah,
I haven't. Michael Bay is another good example, right? But Michael Bay seems to stay in his lane, and he makes these overblown, like when he done Ambulance. It was such an overblown, massive extravaganza of a film.
That was a good film.
These couple of characters in an ambulance, but it was Michael Bay. You could see it all day long. But he knows what he does, and he does it well. Whereas old Zachy boy, I don't know whether he's trying to jump out and become an auteur. He's trying to be a bit of a Denis Villeneuve with this, or a bit of a George. I don't know what he's trying to do with this. It just seems like he's done he's not had someone around him just to give him a little cuddle and say, "Zach, I love you, mate, but can we just bring you back over here?" And it will be good.
I would love to take out all the slow-mo.
I think there's plenty enough. Like when the Nazi bloke has got all the stuff attached to him at the beginning.
Yeah.
I thought, but set design and production design, I thought, oh, this is all a bit. It was reminding me. We was talking about June a little while ago. It was reminding me of David Lynch's June. it was a bit weird and wonderful. You got the blokes with the flat hats, and we just killed. You know, he just you've disappointed me and all that, and all the tubes that were lit up. But it just looked like, I don't know, Studio 54 in New York, like in 1974, rather than 23rd century somewhere else. I don't know. It's just, I wanted it.
Wonder what the runtime of each film would be if you removed all the slow mo. I reckon you're going to take
37 minutes.
In all seriousness, I reckon you're going to take a good 20 minutes off each film.
Really? No, there weren't much slow mo in this one.
I think you would. I think each film, I reckon you'd take about 15, 20 minutes.
No, there weren't that much slow mo in this one.
There's a hell of a lot. I say there's slow mo of someone drinking a bottle. I don't know if there's any more slow mo. On the bit I was asleep.
When they were just farming and filling his. That was no.
Oh,
the slow mo in the first one. I remember the slow mo from the first one where she's having that fight scene with the soldiers in the bar. That was just so bad. It showed you how bad the fight choreography was, because they slowed it right down so you could pick it apart. It was just like, that was just pointless, absolutely pointless.
And that fight would have been what, 30 seconds if it wasn't?
Probably about 30, about a minute tops. Yeah.
But they probably dragged it out with the slow mo for a good 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why he's gone that way. Like, what decision? I get it's his style, but at what point are you sitting there going, yeah, this is going to be slow mo, that's going to be slow mo, that's going to be slow mo. Yeah. We'll make that slow mo as well. Yeah, I'm sure in the R-rated version.
Let's have a shot when he does slow mo.
Yeah, I'm sure in the R-rated version.
I think he sits in the editing room and going, right, that ain't slow mo. That ain't slow mo.
Yeah.
Ain't slow mo. Everything else.
That's it. Proper speed for that scene.
Yeah. And I'm sure in the R-rated version, he's probably going to do a slow mo sex scene as well, probably.
Oh God.
Not with a.
He probably will, wouldn't he?
Sorry.
I guarantee it.
You're gonna kill me.
Not with a 14-year-old boy. We don't want to see that, do we? If it was Sucker Punch, yeah, we'd have some sex scenes in that. Do we go? Do we go? Listen, it's been a month. I know you've missed me. I think it's Sucker Punch, slow motion sex scenes.
Starting to forget who you all were.
Hello, who? Where am I? Yeah. Normally that's my shtick. So that is a monumental miss.
Fail.
Yeah, massive fail.
That's Netflix's shitter. That's it. That's Netflix's shitter. Now everything moving forward is going to be good.
I'm gutted though, because I wanted Zacky Boy to do something.
Yeah.
Well, I remember us all talking when it first came out that it was coming. We were all fucking excited. It was like, yes, Zach's Star Wars movie that we've heard about, and yeah, let's have it. And then sort of turned up.
Number one was as bad as everyone else. I thought it, I didn't think, but yeah, I couldn't find a place in my heart to love number two. Sorry.
You normally love a number two.
It's a cold, dead place. It's a cold, dead place, my heart. So shall we turn it into something to love?
Yeah.
Sure.
Talking of my number twos, Fallout.
Brilliant. Enjoyed every second of it.
It was
awesome. Who wants to kick this one off? Who wants to talk? Who wants to gush about Fallout first? Me?
Go.
Just love the fact. I obviously I didn't play the game.
No, me either.
So I'm coming at this like fresh as a daisy, and it reminded me. Bear with me, right? So sit back and bear with me. It reminded me of how I felt about One Piece. Well, I hadn't read the manga. Got no expectations. I haven't got any expectations here or there. I've got no opinions. I'm just going to sit there. And then you sit there for the first episode. And once that first episode's finished, you go, yeah, 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 I like it. I want to see more. Like, it takes a while for the madness, for the eccentricity to sink in. But that is, I've got to admit, that's a bit of me. And I've made that comparison with One Piece, because those two shows for me, One Piece and Fallout, is spot on what I love. It is as mad as a bag of frogs.
Yeah.
I don't care about really. It all makes sense and it flows, and narratively it flows. But they're not bothered about explaining this bit and explaining that bit. And that's because that happened and we've got to have a flashback scene. They just go wallop.
Yeah.
And you have to fill in with your little bit of brain. You have to fill in, and there's not many blanks with both of those shows that you have to fill in. But anyway, that's how I feel about Fallout. I absolutely, and part of me wanted to binge it, but the other part of me was thinking, oh no, this is so good. I don't want to waste one or two nights. It's like, oh, I want to drag it out. I could only do.
You want this goodness to last.
Yeah, that's what she said. But I think I lasted 4 or 5 nights.
That's not what she said.
No, it isn't. With Fallout, I meant.
Yeah. No, I mean, from my understanding as well, talking to gamers, they're saying it's absolutely spot on. It is such a good showing of what the game put out. They love it.
But that made me want to play the game.
I
played the game, and I thought, if this is this good, what would the game must have been like? Like, how mad, how absolutely bonkers must the game have been?
Yeah.
Like, to produce that program that, fair play to them. They, and you know, I like to say they embraced the idea of it all. With One Piece, I said this, but my God, with Fallout, did they not go for it?
They did. I thought it was brilliant.
They just went for it, and there was little Western, obviously old, the guy with the nose and thing, the main guy. You know, they was doing the spaghetti Western thing and all the Clint Eastwood stuff, but they just went for it. They just did it, and I thought,
yeah, that was good.
Do it. I just thought, yes, do it. You're a post-apocalyptic man with no name, so do it. If that's the pitch, you run with it and don't step back and try and make it any. And that's the good bit. They didn't step back and try and make it anything more than what we want, which is to be entertained.
Yeah.
To be fair,
definitely. I mean,
that was a bit of a gush from me.
No, it's fair play. I mean, I've done the first 2 episodes, and that's it so far. So I haven't done the whole thing. I know.
Wow.
I haven't had a chance. But the first episode, I was sitting there, sort of what you said, just watching it, taking it all in.
Yeah.
And at the end, I didn't really know what to think. But by episode 2, I was all in straight away. And I can't wait to sit down and watch the rest of it.
And it was almost like after the first episode, I don't know about anyone else agree or disagree, but you didn't quite know completely what was going on.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That was exactly the same.
You just had a hint of it. Like, it was, is this in the 50s? Is this in the 1950s? Is this Earth? Is this an alternative reality? What's going on? Oh, I loved how they did it.
But that sets up the intrigue to want to find out more.
Yeah.
You know,
So I was like you, Liz. I watched the first episode and I was like, I like it, but I don't know why. That's what the episode. It's like, I'm good with this. I love it. Yeah.
And
I think it was
sorry.
No,
I was just saying, I think there's something to be said for leaving that intrigue, not answering all the questions, because it makes you want to find out and watch more. Whereas if you set everything up and explain everything and do everything in that they could have easily, with that first episode, gone, this is the setup, and told us everything.
Yeah.
And then we find out the rest of it, and we then follow the story from that point. But by doing it how they did, they just throw you straight into it. Like, that opening scene was really good. I liked how they did the silence around the opening scene. with the bomb going off in the distance. That was really good.
Yeah.
Straight away, I'm in, and it was just it worked. It worked really well. I'm really looking forward to the rest of it. Does it? Obviously, have you all seen the whole lot?
Yeah.
Yes.
So does it go any way that you sort of expected, or it just is it mad all the way through?
It's pretty much the same all the way through.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome.
It starts exactly as it carries on.
Yeah,
Nice.
I don't know about you two. Obviously, Liz hasn't watched it, but I mean, I'm not much of a one to predict what's going to go on in the next episode. But looking back on each episode, I couldn't have. If you'd have asked me after episode 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, what do you think is going to go on in the next episode, and how do you think it's going to end? There is no way.
And is there any lulls in the episodes? Any low points? Like any episodes that you have to sort of
Not
drag yourself through?
I don't think so.
No. Be fair, Liz. No.
Awesome.
No, not for me. I think it's good. It's good viewing, and I do like it when they dangle it.
Yeah.
They just put it in front of your face. They wiggle it. They dangle it, and you enjoy it.
I think the highlight for me for the whole show was, well, actually, it's a twofer. It's the humor.
Yeah.
I really feel like the humor was it. That was the thing that set this apart from every other post-apocalyptic, any bullshit thing that I've seen in a while. It was fun. And then the other part was just that it felt vibrant. It didn't feel like like every other post-apocalyptic show I've seen, where it's all grungy and gross and everything. There was something to kind of contrast that, so you had a bit of relief from that, but the humor was consistent throughout the entire thing. It was funny.
I was on a similar pace to you, because I was thinking back to The Last of Us, another TV series based on the game, post-apocalyptic, and it was good, but this was just beyond. This was just way better, and I'm on the same page as you. It's that humor just keeps you going, and it's balanced, very well balanced.
I agree.
So I did a tiny bit of research, not enough to make a definitive statement, but I believe that this was produced by a studio that Amazon sort of acquired. It's not like the one that they built, but like they bought, I believe, United Artists and MGM and whatnot, and that this is like not coming from the same studio that put out Rings of Power, and there was another one I can't remember. Wheel of Time. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I couldn't remember the show that I
You've forgotten it already.
That's your thing, and you've forgotten all about it.
It gets you your biggest views, and you forgot.
I want to forget it.
Get it.
But I don't think it's, we're seeing that quality storytelling coming from a studio that existed before Amazon, that it's on its own. Amazon's basically just the cash purse, like, hey, this is where you come for the money and do what you got to do, and they're doing it right. That's all I got to say about that. I'm not very talkative this time. It was tough for me to talk without coughing, but
no, the only
talk about like why can't Amazon do stuff like this, and then they put this out and we go, oh look, they can. I still think they can't.
No, well, Amber, you kind of, they did it with Reacher Series 1, and then didn't with Reacher Series 2. So
what was the one with Chris Pratt as well they did it with? What was the show that they did with Chris Pratt that was really good?
Yeah, the film we can't remember that was really great, but we've never watched it again and can't remember it. But
it was a show.
Was it a series?
It was a series, yeah. But it was good. It was done by Amazon. It came out around the same time.
I forget the name of it though. Yeah.
Was it on like an oil rig or something? I remember.
He was the soldier, wasn't he?
What's he called?
He was a soldier, wasn't he? And he was his missus and that was murdered.
I don't remember that bit, and you've spoiled it for me now.
Okay, I'm Googling.
I was going to watch that.
It was what was it called?
They were traveling through time. They were
Google
jumping through space or time or something, weren't they? I can't remember.
The Tomorrow War?
Tomorrow War.
It. That's it.
No, I was going to say Terminal List.
No.
Where's the soldier? That was awesome. That was.
No, that weren't what we're talking about, though, was it?
Yeah.
Is that the one where he slices the guy out and pins his guts up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Who dies? Like the daughter dies or he dies. Someone dies, don't they?
Oh, that is the Terminal List.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a Prime Video. That's a
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was. They can do little gems every now and then, I suppose.
That's it. I mean, like with the Reacher thing, in all honesty, if they'd left it at season 1, it'd been all right. It'd been fine. But it didn't.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just out of curiosity. Have either of you gone back to watch any more of season 2? Because I know we tried our night out. No, I haven't either.
No.
And that kind of says it all, doesn't it? What a shame. Like they nailed it with series 1. And I don't
didn't even get through episode 1.
And there's two ways of looking at it. They either went for giving us more of what they did in series 1, which means it's boring, or they did something different that we didn't like because it wasn't like series 1, so we think it's boring. whichever one of those it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it didn't.
It might get better later on in the series, but somebody let us know in the comments. Does it get better or is it shit all the way through?
Yes. Yes. Let's get people commenting. Everyone start commenting. Yeah, and that's it. So
see you in 2 weeks' time then.
Yeah. Wolverine trailer. The Wolverine trailer. Deadpool Wolverine trailer.
Oh yes.
That was fun. Yeah.
So do we think this is going to save the MCU or what?
No, of course not. I don't think that's even the mission of the film, is it?
Do you think it might be a reboot?
No.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just gonna be one standalone film I think it's gonna deliver. I hope it delivers. I've got everything crossed. And enjoy that film. This is what Marvel could be. And then bye. For me, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not interested after this film.
So negative. I don't know where all this negativity comes from. I can't stand it. I think this is going to reboot the new MCU. I think there's going to be cameos of the new characters, and this is going to be a new step forward.
You think? Go keep that there,
No, I think it's going to be another one-off that earns loads of money.
Yeah,
a bit like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that came out, and you kind of watched it and went, hey, it was like no one hated it, did they? Like no one hated it.
It was all right. Yeah,
it was like, and it earned nearly £1 billion, and you think
I think this one's going to do well.
This has got some buzz. This has definitely got some buzz around it, and thanks to Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
Hugh Jackman is embracing it fully, which is
yes.
And what was have you seen the meme that's going around that what has he played Wolverine like 24 times or something? So he is the actor that has played the M's like since the first X-Men film till Deadpool Wolverine. He has played the character most consistently for the most amount of time. Like so he's king.
Yeah, nice.
Love it.
Nice.
So, yeah, it did. The trailer did tick all the boxes for me, I've got to say.
Yeah.
That was a very strong trailer. And the fact that they released the R-rated trailer with all the F-bombs and all that sort of stuff in it. Just to show people that we're not Disney. Like, and we're gonna rip the piss out of Disney a little bit as well. Like it was
even in the trailer.
Yeah, even in the trailer.
Yeah.
That's how you got to do it, and that's what Deadpool is.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to rip the shit out of stuff.
Yeah, that's what it should be. That's what She-Hulk should have been back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with this film, I think we're going to get cameos galore.
Yeah.
But I think it's all going to be done in a sort of tongue-in-cheek, funny manner in which they take the piss. Yeah. And my ultimate goal of this film, which I think would be awesome, would be it just completes all this multiverse bullshit. Deadpool ruins the multiverse, takes it all off, and there's no more multiverse storyline after that.
I'd love to see like the Tom Cruise Iron Man. You know, all these stupid rumors from the past 5 years, like post-pandemic. I'd love to see all those stupid cameos. So you see a Tom Cruise Iron Man. I don't know what else they've been pathetically like everyone online, but I would just love just that one bit just in this film. In any other, any other film or post credits, like I'll yawn. But yes, let's do it here. Let's do it here. And yeah, perhaps, well, Liz, what you're saying is like, well, it's this one and done then. Like you're over it now. You're over.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first Marvel film I'm actually excited about in a long time, to be fair. So I'm excited for it, but because we've been hurt so many times, I'm not getting my hopes up past this one, to be honest with you.
We've been here so many times.
Yeah, this
is like a therapy group now, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It is. Been broken.
Give everyone a metaphorical hug.
But I think that the reason this one will do well and the reason this one will be good is because they let Ryan Reynolds do what he does best, and they've sort of. I'm hoping that okay, there's going to be multiverse, cool. There's going to be the TVA from the Loki series, okay, but just rip it to shit. Absolutely rip it, roast it, and be done with it. And I don't know if they'll be brave enough. All the right decisions they could have made over the years, they made all the right decisions up until Endgame, and then after that, every decision they could have made, they made the wrong one.
Yeah.
This seems to be the one time when they've got external people coming in, essentially, that they seem to have made the right decisions. But as soon as Ryan Reynolds isn't involved, I don't think they're going to learn anything from this. I think, oh, that done well. It's made us a load of money. We can go and make more shit now.
Yeah, no.
Is essentially what it'll be.
You're dead right, Liz, that they will learn if this is a massive hit. But then again, with a character like Deadpool, it does need to be the one-off anyway. It does need to be the one on the side. Like you can't take this as a template for the MCU.
No.
I know what you're saying, Liz, but if the rumours are to be believed, old Ryan has had to dig his heels in a few times.
Yeah, of course he will.
To get his version of events over the line. Like that's the rumour mill. I know it's the rumour mill. But I'm inclined to believe that. I'm inclined to believe that. I bet there was a heavy, which we've all spoken about over the past, well, I would say past couple of years now, where there is too much corporate, they can't let the creators do it and the producers produce it. They've got to interfere with it.
Yeah.
Well, he says it in the trailer, doesn't he? He's got a list from Kevin Feige. No. He says it in the trailer. He's got a list from Kevin Feige and they can't do cocaine. And he really wants to.
Yeah.
But that list, you can imagine the amount of stuff that they originally put on that list. If you can't do this, you can't do that. You can imagine that list is never ending. And you can imagine the Disney execs when they first see the first cut of that movie going, oh no, we can't do any of that. We've got to redo it. We've got to refilm it. We need to do a reshoot, etc. You can just imagine it. Yeah. So I can fully believe he had to stick his heels in the whole way through that process.
Man, shameful. Yeah, just shocking.
I'm not as familiar with the backstory of Deadpool. How much of it is ad lib?
The first two films, I know that he would do. They'd have the scripted scene, and then they would do alternate scenes. So like different takes, he'd just ad lib a couple. So he'd just do a couple of ad libs, and then in the editing they'll just go, that one's the best, and they'll just go with that because you can see it on some of like the extras and some of the outtakes at the end. Some of it's different. I know that on this one, that when they were originally started filming during the writer's strike, and because ad-libbing is technically changing the script, he wasn't allowed to for the first part of the shoot.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So that's what I'm a little bit worried about. But I know they carried on filming afterwards, so when it was all said and done. So hopefully,
I don't think it'd be a problem.
No, I don't.
No, based off that trailer, and you know, I think everyone's excited to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again, to be honest, as well. So it's double whammy, isn't it? You get to see another Deadpool film that rips the shit, and actually an adult film, because I think especially Marvel, Disney, it was aimed at everyone, and then all of a sudden it was aimed at morons, essentially. And now we've got a film that, okay, the kids can't necessarily go and see it, but it's for the adults. Here you go. Here's a film. Here's a superhero film for all the demographic that's been missing out for all these years. You've now got a superhero film you can watch.
And as long as did I say caveat early on? I don't know why I've got the word caveat in my head, but I don't have that in another
word of the week, isn't it?
Yeah, word of the word of the week. I can make that feature. The word of the week is caveat. But I just hope that Hugh Jackman is playing it straight.
Yeah.
And that Ryan is doing his thing as Deadpool, which I love. I think everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that. But please, just make him the straight man. And it will work.
Well, that's kind of how it was back in the days of Weapon X. That's kind of how it was, wasn't it? It was Wolverine was the straight guy, and you know, in the story, it's Wolverine. Yeah, and Deadpool was just constantly fucking about.
Yeah, to be fair, actually, Tayters, you're right. Even in the X-Men films, what was the film where they travel back in time and they turn up at the bar, Xavier and someone, and he just goes, he's got a beer and he goes, fuck off.
To be fair, I hope they do a callback to X-Men Origins, because obviously that's the first time Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool. X-Men Origins, the abomination of Deadpool.
He did that in the credit scenes on the second one, didn't he?
Yes, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
He went back and killed himself, and then he went back to Green Lantern and killed himself.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping there's some sort of funny little callback to that, because they openly ripped the shit out of that film. Both of them.
And that is one of the weirdest things. Again, when we've spoken in the months and years gone past, we talk about adapting the source material. So you've got a character that is colloquially known as the Merc with a mouth.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing you do in a film when you introduce his character? You milled his mouth. He's the Merc with a mouth.
Yeah.
And
you sewed his mouth up. Yeah.
So you mould his mouth gone. What was that all about? Like, what a shocking.
What bad, wasn't it?
When you think about it, like, literally, what was they doing? I know what we'll do. We won't do that. I know what we'll do. He can't talk. And then there's someone in the corner putting their hand up going, but sir.
They gave him like Cyclops's laser eyes and everything, didn't they, in that film at the end? Yeah. They gave him like a mixture of all these different. He was teleporting. He was doing everything, wasn't he? At the end of that, he was just a mixture of everything.
It was a shit film.
That was terrible.
Shocking. I thought there was freeze frame then. I thought we was all going to
Not quite, not yet. Not quite.
Is there any other superhero films out this year? Because there's the only one I know of.
Yeah. Do you know the one, The Counterpoint? I don't know if we've spoken about it before. But the counterpoint to that Marvel film, I'll give you the little tease. The counterpoint to the Marvel film of the year is going to be the DC film of the year, which is.
They haven't got one, have they?
The Joker.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Joker 2.
Yes. I'm intrigued by that trailer.
Yeah, no, I don't know if we've spoken about it. That's why I was a bit tentative, because I don't know if we spoke about it. It wasn't a month ago where we talked about the trailer, was it?
It might have been.
You and me spoke about the trailer offline. We didn't
No,
speak
I'm
about
sure
the
we
trailer.
spoke about it on the hogCAST.
No, the latest trailer, the final one.
Oh, right, okay.
We spoke about that offline, so I've got some concerns, but I'm holding out.
Because you had concerns with the first one, Liz, but they were like you was thinking with the first film, you was thinking, oh my god, we don't need a Joker origin, and but you
enjoyed
was
it.
surprised.
Yeah, and he proved me wrong, and
Right.
it was an awesome film.
Proved you wrong. So with this,
so I'm hoping he does the same with the second one. So that's why that's why I'm reserving judgment.
What's concerning you?
My concern was around Harley Quinn. So it's the relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn is an abusive one, but it's also, if you do it on film, it's Harley Quinn's descent into madness. She's there to be the psychiatrist, and during those sessions, he turns her crazy. In this trailer, it appears like she's just another inmate at the asylum. And that takes away all the juiciness of, because the way when they first said it was a musical, the way I imagined it was Harley Quinn's a psychiatrist, Joker's in the asylum, she's treating him, he's turning her crazy. And as she's going more crazy and descending into madness, we start to get more musical numbers. Was how I was imagining it.
But that might still be the way they do it, Liz.
And it might be, just from the trailer, it looked like she was just another inmate at the asylum, which takes away
just drab and dull.
Yeah, it takes away a hell of a lot of character development that we could get, and an amazing story that we could get if she's just an inmate at the asylum. But again, I'm going to reserve judgment because he's proved me wrong once. So I'm hoping he does it again. But that's that. And to be fair, that was my only concern from that trailer. And I don't know if he can. I didn't really spot much else from it that I was concerned about. The rest of it was like, okay, interesting. I'm intrigued. But that was my concern because, and don't get me wrong, he could change the story completely and make it work. But that's such a juicy storyline. The psychiatrist is turned crazy by her patient. That's such a good storyline. I don't know why you'd go against it. And the only thing I can think of is that's the most obvious storyline, what I just said. Yeah. That's the most obvious way of doing it.
Which is it's kind of going back to the Batman animated origin, which is where the character come from. Like it was never in the comics, ever. Her origins lie in the Batman animated show. And that, yeah, he can't. I don't think that's the Harley Quinn right there.
Yeah.
That I will, and it's the Batman animated that I enjoy. and in the comics as well, because she has been misread. I mean, you can see the amount of artwork I've got just of one character in one room. Like I've got the original anyway. But I don't think I think this is going to be a decent film. I'm with you, Liz. I trust Todd Phillips. Is it Todd Phillips?
Yeah.
I trust him. I didn't have any doubts. I didn't have any opinion either way, to be fair, on the first Joker film. I just thought, oh, here we go. But it was a good film. You can't deny it was a good film. But was it the Joker? No. Was that the clown prince of crime? No.
Definitely not.
It was a character study of a mental bloke.
Yeah.
And they called it the Joker. So, but anyway, that's Hollywood shenanigans and magic. And they've made it into nearly $1 billion film. And it was a good film. At least you could watch it, whether you're a comic geek or not. You watched it, and it brought a lot of people in, loving the Joker, blah blah. And this one, but yeah, I think it'll be a good film, but it just won't be Harley. It won't be Harley and the Joker. It won't.
No, and like I say, that's not like I
But-
say, they could still do it, but I just think as an origin for Harley, just having her as a already crazy person in the asylum just doesn't really hit the spot, does it?
No, but it'll be the same again. But because it's not for me, because I like the comic booky, I like that Poison Ivy. I like. Do you remember what was the Batman film? Uma Thurman was Poison
Yeah.
Ivy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my Poison
That was
Ivy.
Batman Forever, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my poison. That's my Poison Ivy.
Was it? Was it Batman Forever?
It was Batman Forever because
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger was
That's it.
That's Batman.
Because
Batman
I
and Robin.
was
Mr. Freeze.
That was Batman and Robin.
Was it? I thought it was Batman Forever. Oh,
Batman Forever is Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
right, okay.
Batman and Robin has Uma Thurman. Yeah, I'm just looking it up.
There we go.
now,
And
yeah. See her as
I
Poison
got my
Ivy.
name
Oh yeah.
Whatever
Poison
happened to
Ivy.
Chris O'Donnell?
What's
Is he
that?
still around? Chris O'Donnell. He plays Robin. Whatever happened to him? He was
I
like
don't
the it guy.
And Robin had nipples, and so did
He
that.
did. Yeah, they all had nipples, didn't they? The suits.
Yeah.
Who
I mean,
made that decision on the costume?
Who would go like Daredevil when he went to the bloke in the Netflix show to design his uniform, and he went, "Make sure you give me nipples." I know I'm blind, but I can still get
yeah.
horizontal and vertical hold. You made me digress then.
Just a little bit.
What do you think of the trade then, Taters?
Amber, Taters,
Yes.
what are you thinking of the Joker? What the folie à deux?
Well, see, for me, the first Joker movie was exactly as you described it. It was a story of a man's descent into madness, and then they slapped the Joker title on top of it. So for me, I have no interest in seeing the second one, except that I know it'll probably be a decent, at least I don't know, but I expect that it will be at least as decent as the first one was.
Yeah.
More the same.
Well produced, compelling story, you
Yes.
know, well performed. So
And she's a good actress. I know that, you know, whether you like her music or not, but old fucking Gaga,
I could not quote you a single line from any one of her songs. I don't know.
Actually,
Oh wait, Poker Face.
Actually, I can do the dance moves as well. Ready?
Go on.
This is a new segment.
You was waiting. You was all
This is
waiting.
a new segment. We don't need word of the week.
No, I can't think.
Come on then, bust a move.
It's done Poker Face,
Is it
isn't
not
she?
Poker Face?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
What about? No, she had loads of hot hits. And Amber, as the youngest member of the hogCAST team,
Yeah, but I don't listen to that like
I think
popular crap.
Amber, I think you are absconding on your duties to research this. Oh, I can't carry on with that line of. Yeah, but in American Horror Story, I thought she was awesome.
Yeah, she's done well in there. She's done well in
And
that.
in A Star Is Born.
I haven't seen any of those, so I don't know. I mean,
Star
she's
is
some
Born
pop
is
star.
right. Yeah, Star is
With
Born is all right.
with
Bradley Cooper.
I was going to say Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Hey, she could keep up with Bradley Cooper,
that would
then
have been a
great on
very-
her,
That
you
would have
know?
been a very different film if it was Rocket Raccoon in that movie.
It was Marvel adjacent. I like that word, adjacent.
Caveat adjacent. Oh my god.
Have you? Oh,
Where are you getting all these words
I've
from?
got-
On it.
I've got words. Where's my book? I've got words.
What, the dictionary?
No, a Pictionary actually.
Right.
It was Scrabble, and I've still got the board out. So there's a few. So we've got the Marvel, but I don't know if we can call that DC. But there's no major. There's nothing, is there? There's no. What about Miss Patterson, Batman? There's none of that, is there?
That's been delayed again.
Oh god. Why
That's
now?
been. Don't know, I think it's 2026.
Oh,
No.
probably his balls are dropping and he's growing chest hair. So I got the
Thing is, everyone will forget about it by then.
Yeah.
No one will ever forget about Batman.
No, the Patterson Batman.
Oh yeah, they'll forget about that. But
yeah. Yeah, it just becomes. I mean, we got that Penguin show, haven't we?
That's trying to be the next Joker. I don't see anyone enjoying it.
No, I don't.
It'll probably be a decent show. Is that HBO Max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe.
So no, but all it will be is, I predict, is a more or less traditional, like Sopranos, like gangster.
It's a Gothic Sopranos.
With a bloke called the Penguin. They call him. Well, I mean, why is Colin Farrell called the Penguin? In that
He likes the biscuit.
In the Patterson Batman, why is he called the Penguin?
No idea.
He's so grounded that we don't even know what a grounded penguin is, do we? That's how grounded. Whereas in the second Tim Burton Batman film,
Never had ground penguin.
when Danny DeVito was playing the Penguin, oh yes, you got the origin story, and you had the Gothic, all the setup of it. He was flowing down the. I don't know if any of you remember.
Oh yeah.
Bits of it, yeah.
The thing was flowing down the little canal, and it was all in the dark. And then he waddles out, and oh my god! And his makeup, and the music, Danny Elfman's music, and other than that, I can't remember much of that film. But no, but
I'm surprised. Actually, I am shocked that you can't remember much of that film, because wasn't that Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, it was.
With that whip.
No, Tayters, I was actually joking.
Oh, sorry.
I can kind of remember every minute of that film,
especially the Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah. See, that's when we needed Zach for the slow-mo.
And what did the light in the room when she had all her messy hair? What was it, hell hair or something, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
What was it in her room when before or after she falls out of the room, and it was hell? And in her bedroom when all the cats were crawling around her, and it's Tim Burton at his finest.
Yeah.
And it was all hell here or something. It says.
I still want Tim Burton to do the official Batman 3, Keaton.
No, I just want him to. I just want him to concentrate on Wednesday, series 2.
When's that out?
Next Wednesday. That was cheap, wasn't it?
That was bad. That was bad.
That was cheap, wasn't it? Yeah. As the words come out, I thought, oh no.
That's what it's going to be called. That's what the next series is going to be called, next Wednesday.
It was too obvious. It was too obvious. Next Wednesday, or what's series 2 of Wednesday called? Thursday.
I need to Google it.
But that's got to be this year, though, isn't it? It's got to be out this year.
Early 26. I might be wrong.
2026.
Early 25. Sorry.
Yeah, I demand it be earlier.
It needs to be. We need something to talk about. Or something good to watch.
Well, yeah, I would like another hogCAST in between now and 2026. Is there nothing else? Amber, come on. I've got a sore throat, but on your horizon, is there nothing else in your firmament that you're looking forward to?
No, I know that the next season of Wheel of Time is coming out, which nobody's watching except me, and I'm telling people what happens in each scene, because a bunch of people in my comments are like, we don't even watch the show, we just watch your reviews of it so we can know what they're doing.
I noticed that with series 1, they were going, oh yes, like we love your video, we hate the show, but we love it. And that one,
they're not even watching the show anymore. They're like, we've quit watching the show. So I have to summarize every scene that happens so that people who aren't watching the show know what I'm talking about.
And that was a good The video you done where you laughed all the way through, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, that was from season 1. That was just because season 1 was really horrendous. Season 2 is terrible to the source material, but it's not as poorly written consistently throughout. Like the episode I just reviewed, I was like, wow, this was actually okay written, but I don't care about any of the characters because they were shit until this moment. So whatever. I could look up.
Is there anything Netflix in behind the scenes as regards benders or anything?
Well, that's all going forward. Like I know, I don't know a whole lot. I haven't been able to talk to my friend, but the last time we talked, like everything's moving along really positive. Like I know they got a new showrunner for Avatar. It wasn't like we fired you. It was more like they both decided like, yeah, we're just gonna get somebody else. And so it's somebody who was already on the first season and knows about all the things that they did that they want to, change and improve for second season. So that's all good. There was something else. There was another show.
Just before you say that, Amber, while you're thinking about the other show, what are we all thinking about how Avatar: The Last Airbender sits in the league table of hit and miss? I know it's not a miss, don't get me wrong, but if miss is down here and it's the top of the tree and a billion people, if you're up here with Squid Game and you're down there with, I don't know what Netflix misses have been, let's give like She-Hulk is there. Where does any of us know, have any of us got an impression or of an idea of where Avatar: The Last Airbender is in that like league table, for want of a better description? Like, where is it?
I think it was as far as reception goes, that's a different story from whether or not it made back all of its money. Like it got all the views. Like it was the #1 show in the world for a long time there. And so it was a success. It's got some issues though. Like there's no question it's got some issues in the writing, but it didn't destroy the source material, which is what, a lot of people are like, oh, it ruined the source material, didn't do this scene or this scene. I'm like, you got to make cuts as long as the characters are, at least mostly true and they've tried to capture the spirit and everything else. Like it did all that. It clearly was an attempt to do justice to the show, the animation. So the animation, season 2 and 3, are way above season 1 as far as character development and story. So if they're following that, then they're going to do well for season 2 and 3. And if they can fix the pacing and the dialogue issues, like they cram too much in it, they can cut that down. But I think if they are going to do what they say that they want to do and they make the improvements that need to be made, it's going to end very strong. I don't think it'll be like, I don't know, like there's some, when you start out with a season 1 that's a hit, that's always much better, like this season 1 was a hit, but everybody kind of agrees it had some problems, so
Which is good, I suppose. It's good in a way, like there's room for improvement, or you haven't come out of the stalls with the most mega hit, like when you've got that hit first album as a band, and then it's the legendary second album, like you can't live up to the first one. You just can't do it.
Yeah, the way I talk about
a little bit of a lesser first series and then go, oh, look what we've done here now. Look.
I think that the best way to think about what I think the Avatar shows are going to be by season, it's like Harry Potter. You're gonna get a rough start. Like if you watch the first Harry Potter movies, they're terrible. They're so cheesy and corny. The pacing is awful. The acting is bad. The writing is so corny. It's bad. I mean, well, not bad, but it's fine. It does tell the story, and then it grows. They kind of hit their stride and understand what they can do, the freedoms that they can take, and still honor the source material, but they're improving in the quality. I think that's what's going to happen with Avatar, because there's love inside and out from the lowest person on set to the top executives in charge of this thing. They love the source material. They don't want to butcher it. They want to share it with the world, which is what I think is really missed with a lot of these adaptations, where we see that they want to change so much. They're like, oh, I want to do it, but what if we did this instead? And you go, oh gosh, you're not adapting it. You're putting your own spin on something. So, I think it's a very good sign, but we'll see how it goes. There's a lot of factors. The more I've been researching this and talking about this, I find that, there's the movie that you intend to make, there's the movie that gets made, and then there's the movie that gets edited. Like that's kind of the process, that you can start out with an intention and then things happen and you can't quite get that, so you have to make changes, and then the changes that you made don't quite work, so you have to change those things. So a lot of factors go into doing it right. Anyway, I was talking a lot there.
No, that was good. That was good. It was, it was waiting for about an hour for you to contribute, to be fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so
I'm only
quiet.
joking. I'm only joking, Amber. You must know me.
I'm like muffling so many coughs in the background. You have no idea. I'm like, turn the microphone away.
This will be the quietest Amber video. Normally.
Yes. Normally I'm more of a contributor.
You're kind of elbowing us all out of the way, going, all right.
You threw me a bone with Avatar. So.
Plenty to say about that. I knew Avatar would set you off, and it's old, but I thought, well, let's get Amber. Let's get Amber back in the room.
Oh, thank you.
Where do you think it comes in the list then?
I didn't mean that. No, I just.
Oh, ranking wise, I didn't
think it comes in that list.
What, Netflix only is this?
No, just all of it. Like he's saying, if She-Hulk is like all the way down there, what we got up here?
It's a tough one. You can it's hard. One Piece is the best.
If it's purely Netflix, it's One Piece for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And One Piece was the top.
I don't know if
You really think it was the same? It was on par with One Piece for real?
What, Avatar?
Yeah.
No, I preferred One Piece.
Yeah, I felt like One Piece was definitely higher up.
Yes,
it had less
because it didn't follow. And like we was talking about, or I was talking about earlier, that traditional narrative was, you need a narrative. They're not going off the path and going, oh, we make it arty and only we understand it. They didn't do that. They didn't do it with Avatar, The Last Airbender, and they didn't do it with One Piece. But with One Piece, what they did do was the madness of everything. They just let it go. They just let it. Yeah. They just let it rock and roll. A bloke, a character that can just be a head and a torso and arms and legs and stuff, and everything that was going on. There was no point where I ever thought that, and I'd never read the manga, but there was no point where I ever thought they were holding back. They just, and I will say it again, they embraced it. They embraced the source material and just went, there you go, we've adapted that, and like we were saying earlier with Fallout, we've adapted this, and I haven't played the game, and there you go, it makes me want to play the game. Like, that must be an insane game. But I bet, actually, this is a good challenge. Would the game be as impressive as what they've done with the TV show? I'll have to ask Luke that, because he played the game and he's enjoyed the show as well. And he did say he'd like to go back and play the game. But I wonder if you've never played the game and you've watched the show and you think, oh, I'm going to buy a game on PS5 or whatever, or Xbox and blah, blah. I wonder if the game lives up to it.
After the show you're talking about. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Intriguing. I mean, every gamer I spoke to that said they loved the show, they've all gone back and they're back on the game again.
What, replayed the game?
They're all back on the game again. So
nice, yeah, because that is what Luke said. He said, "Oh, Dad, that's made me want to go back and play the game." So
But does the game actually have like a character narrative? Like, I don't think it does, right? It's basically a world with a history and events that happen, and you kind of are in it when these things are revealed, or you know.
Yeah, actually, Amber, you're right. There's probably 2 or 3 characters that you can cling on to, like members of the audience, whether you want to cling on to the guy, the ghoul. He's called the ghoul, isn't he? So you cling on to the ghoul, the bloke with the no nose, old Clint Eastwood, or old like Goldeneye, or no, actually they're the main 2, aren't they?
Or Maximus as well in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. No, I might have been thinking about that, but actually, you either cling on to old Goldeneye or Clint Eastwood.
I think they're the 2.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like Maximus's character in the beginning because he was a bit of a coward, but he grew, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed seeing that I liked him as a character by the end, you know? He wasn't so unlikable at the beginning that it was unforgivable. He just was a bit of a deceiver, a bit of a coward, kind of, you know, not really doing anything or not doing anything honest anyway. And then he grew into a noble character. So I liked that a lot.
Is that the I don't know whether the algorithm will pick this up, but is that the Jewish character?
Jewish character? What?
Maximus.
No, the black guy who becomes a knight.
Oh, the one with a suit.
I forgot about him. Yeah.
One with a suit. Yes. So that's the 3rd character. So you've got the black guy. No, I thought you was on about the guy,
the brother,
Jewish guy in the.
But no, I liked his story too, but he was not a major character, not like the other 3.
No, because you had him, and then you had the bird with the eye. You got her eye.
Yeah, eye patch lady.
Salt, and she was on a level with the Jewish bloke, but somehow they kept focusing on him, and I thought, oh, like when he turned up, and when she turned up, it was like, oh, get over, la 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 la. Like, let's get on to the next scene. I don't know about you lot, but.
Well, I was intrigued to find out what the secret was, because that was what his thing was, that he knew that something's not right with how what are they called again? Those chambers that they're in, the vaults. Something's not right with the vault governance between our 3 vaults. So I really enjoyed that mystery and seeing him get closer to it, and, you know, little bits of information being dropped. For me, my one concern about Fallout is the big secret, which I don't want to blow for Liz, but the big secret of what happened to the world, and, you know, that's revealed. That was the big mystery driving us forward with that. But remember, and I'm like, so what's going to be the information that we want in the 2nd season? And I don't know what it's going to be, but they kept bringing it up in season 1 over and over and over again. Yeah. Everybody thinks they know how to save the world. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the new focus in the 2nd season, is how do we save the world? Like, how do we return everybody back to normal, you know?
Does anyone know if they've based this first season covers the first game? Is it the same story, or is it just set in the same world? Does anyone know?
Well, I know that all the games, my brother said that the games all take place in the same world, but in different locations. Now, at the very end of season 1, I don't think this is going to be a huge spoiler for you, Lizard, if you've never played the game, but one of the characters is traveling to, and we see in the distance, Las Vegas. And I know that there's a Fallout game that takes place in Las Vegas, and a lot of people love that one because it's a really unique setup for how the world works in Las Vegas. The vaults that are there. And I have a feeling they'll just relocate us every season, and we'll get to learn about a new world and environment with the same characters. But then I go back to, what is the driving question? You know, what is the thing we want to know more about? Because in the beginning, for season 1, it was, how did this happen? How did the world end up like this? And they answer that at the end of season 1. So what is it going to be in season 2? And I think it's got to be, how do we save the world? Like, what's the next step? They keep saying that throughout season 1. Listen for it, Liz, when you're watching. Everybody every once in a while says, everyone thinks they know how to save the world. And they don't answer that question by the end of season 1. How do you save the world? So, I don't know. That was all I got to say. That's it. Sorry, I'm not very humorous.
I think for series 2, if they shrink it down into a relationship, into the dynamic, the personal, if they shrink it right down, forget the epic scope of series 1, then I think we're all going to be in again.
Yeah.
Going to be, what's going on here? What is it? Dad, daughter? Is it uncle, cousin? What is it? What's going on? That would probably be more interesting and engaging than trying to get more epic scope, like what you're saying, Amber. Like, where does it go from here? La, la, la. But sometimes it can be,
I felt like the show actually did a really good job of doing exactly what you're saying in season 1. Like, I'm not worried about them doing that in season 2. Because they did such a great job in season 1. The character interactions were so engaging.
Yes, and she's great. The woman,
the actress, yeah.
Oh, she's so good. And the writers and directors and everyone involved. And I know we've spoken and we've lamented about girl power and all the rest of it. What a Dismal Minus and their ilk have been doing to powerful women, but she's just a great female character with strength, intelligence, and you believe it.
Yeah.
And oh my God, and now we've got a black bloke, and they haven't made a big thing about his origin, have they? He's just a black, and I know I'm getting a bit, I shouldn't go there, but I am going to go there because you've got a strong female character.
Yeah.
Got a male character of colour, and you're into it. And it's great. And he gets the shit kicked out of him when he's trying to get back into his suit in that episode. And but it's, how did they make that not funny, not satirical? What's the word I'm looking for? It was, you was kind of whinging because he was getting the shit kicked out of him, but it was funny because you thought he was going to get into the suit again. They just made it work for me. For me, it just worked every episode. And not that I was trying to pull it apart. I mean, I was if anything, I was the other way, and I wanted to just love everything. And they're going to disappoint me next episode. Well, no, next episode is going to be shit. But each episode, I don't know what you think, but I thought it went off on a different, like, that way. When, like, the end of each episode, you think, right, well, let's, or you've got your expectations, haven't you? We all carry our baggage. We think, right. And
I think I've got it.
And it just wasn't that, was it?
No, I think what it is, what made each episode so good is it was so immersed in its own world. I never got the sense that they were trying to take the real world, today's, like everything that's going on in the world, and somehow make this story relevant to today.
Yeah.
It felt like they're like, nothing else exists except the universe inside this story. And there was plenty of political messaging and social messaging in what we saw, but it wasn't irrelevant. It was all perfectly relevant to what was happening in the story itself. And that made it stronger because we never felt like it was out of place. It felt like, of course, like, okay, like how, you've got this 1950s world, right?
Yeah.
But all of the women have been sexually liberated. Well, they need to be because their job is to repopulate the earth. So I was like, this makes perfect sense. Like it's got 1950s sensibilities, but she's like, so do you want to have sex? Like, I thought that was
Actually,
perfect.
I've forgotten that. Yeah, and that was a great scene. That was a great scene. Like,
and
well, you obviously remember it more than me, Amber, but and she went, right, so what are you going to do? Put it in now? Or what? It was like,
And his reaction I thought was great because he comes from like, these knights who are, so self-righteous and he thought it was gross. He's like, I don't even know what it is. It's like disgusting and it happens. And she's like, actually, it's totally normal. Like she's educating him.
And that's a proper role reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But it makes perfect sense to the world and the environment. Like, he's part of that religious group, or I don't even know, are they religious? They kind of are, yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's supposed to repopulate the world. So she would have been raised with a totally different set of moral values than what you would expect in the 1950s. I thought it was great. I thought everything was, and though you could take that same scenario and put it in any other world or movie and it would feel out of place. But because of the world, because of the settings and the environment and what they're up against, you believed that this is organic to the story.
Yeah. Yeah. And the whole ghoul, the ghoul element of it. And we haven't really, do we know how that happened? And
not really. I guess that's kind of a mystery still.
You see a little bit of the origin story, and that could have been jarring, couldn't it? Because it's kind of, but again, it's the 1950s, but it's not. It's somewhere else, isn't it? It's not. They're not telling us specifically this is Hollywood in the 1950s, really. No. Unless I've missed something. They're just kind of giving us the impression that if you was in America in the 1950s and this bloke had a black wife or lover and they had a daughter and all, and I like that. They're not explaining it all. They're just not doing that. And then the bomb goes off and, but these things are across episodes. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. I liked being treated as an adult audience member.
Same.
I said member. I know it's got to be me before any of you, That's what she said. I know you lot are normally the immature ones, not me, but
yeah, absolutely.
I thought for a change, but yeah. So Fallout, my God, it sounds like a massive, massive hit.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's lot.
There is some app that you can get to check the numbers on Netflix shows, like how well they're doing. I have to ask what it is, but I know you can, like a bunch of the people that I'm talking to and following on Instagram, they do it and they're like, they have that app. You can like see where a show ranks on Netflix.
That would be actually for me. I mean, I was turning my nose up, but there's a show called The Dead Boy Detectives.
What?
The Dead
What is
Boy.
this?
Seen it advertised. I haven't watched it. Yeah.
It's part of the Sandman universe from the comics. And I started watching it, and it's
is it disappointing?
It's lamer than a one-legged duck with a broken crutch.
Right.
And it's got these two. I don't want to go there. To be fair, like
We'll leave it then.
I
That's
try
fine.
because what it is on Threads, right? Because it's from a comic, The Dead Boy Detectives. It's from Neil Gaiman, who did the Sandman, and etc. Other stuff. And he's obviously got a Netflix contract. And I thought, right, this is the new hog, like positivity. Yes. And you start watching it and you think, oh, fuck's sake, like, how old do you think I am? And everyone's going, oh my God, this is the Dead Boy Detective. This is Sandman. I now can't wait for Sandman Series 2. And I have to say,
And this was on Threads.
This is on Netflix. This is a show on Netflix.
I'm saying the people saying they're waiting for Sandman season 2.
Oh, yeah.
You're out of that group now.
They're waiting.
They've kicked you out.
All I do is put my link to that Sandman video I did that kicked off. That's what one of the videos that kicked off my channel just before She-Hulk, if you remember.
Yeah.
When I done that video on Sandman, the character of Death being racially swapped.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I got it. They gave it to me. They bent me over and they gave it to me. You have to research that one, Amber.
I think we just need to learn that we don't watch things that we know the source material.
And even the She-Hulk videos, Amber, if you look back on them, like some of the flack I got for hating that show, there was people saying, oh, you're just an old man. There was one, I will remember it to the day I die. There was one comment on one of my YouTube videos for the She-Hulk, and she went, you're just an old man in a green, what did she say? A green polo top.
Okay.
You're just an old man moaning about She-Hulk, but the reason I was wearing a green polo top, I thought was funny.
Yeah.
But she just went, yeah, you're just an old man. And it went from there. But no, I'm thicker skin than that. You know what I mean? We're still here on hogCAST 33.
Exactly.
And they can go and do one.
Yeah.
And we're all but we are all entitled to our opinions.
That's it, exactly.
But I'm in a happier place now than I was then. No, I will still maintain that.
No, She-Hulk nearly broke you.
Yeah, it did.
I know.
Do you know what? Like, so I don't know how old those videos are. I got a comment literally a day or two ago, and someone literally asking me, what the hell was going on with the last episode of She-Hulk? Why has she got these powers? What's going on with the fourth wall? Like, literally, brilliant. Someone, I say brilliant, but that means someone has actually put themselves through She-Hulk all the way through to the last episode, and is asking me for help understanding it.
Hmm.
It's a weird world we live in, isn't it?
No, I'm going to help. I'm going to help.
Did anybody hear that there is a Blade Runner movie or show that's going to come out?
I did.
No.
I remember reading something about that. It was a few weeks ago, but I didn't glean much information from it.
Oh,
yeah, you know who's producing it, supposedly? Amazon.
Oh,
who's,
no.
And what's this is intriguing. This makes me want to reach for my phone and Googleize it.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear anything about it.
No, I remember reading something a while back, them saying they were going to do the Blade Runner TV show, but it didn't give away much in terms of the whys and wherefores, but it's Amazon. That's all they had about it written. Produced by Amazon.
I wonder if old Villeneuve would be attached to it.
I doubt it.
Villeneuve, Ridley.
Well, Villeneuve done Blade Runner 2049, didn't he?
Yeah, I know he did, but not Ridley Scott. just anyway, stay away from it and create something new, you idiots.
And I think that's a lesson learned, isn't it? Every time we find something new that we don't know the source material, like One Piece, for us to Avatar, with this Fallout, and with The Last of Us, to be fair, all stuff that we don't know the source material, we've enjoyed it more than stuff where we do know the source material and they've ruined it.
Yeah.
They seem to be targeting us, ruining the stuff that we love.
with the I suppose with the adaptions, but I mean the examples you've given though, Liz, they've been pretty good. I mean, Last of Us thematically drifted off for me, and I'll still maintain that. Whatever I was moaning about at the time, I will still moan about now. That was an unnecessary episode that we didn't need, and we all know the episode I'm talking about.
Yeah,
we did not need that. No one needed to see that. That didn't move anything forward. It didn't.
No, that was it.
It was just a piece of, and I think it was a side quest in the game as well. You know, the creators of the game thought, oh, you know, if I like a bit of bum fun, I've got to share it. So, but it was unnecessary.
Okay.
In a limited series, it's different. If it was Walking Dead and you've got 26 episodes, right? One episode of bum fun between two of the characters, fine. All right. They're all enclosed and they love each other. And it was quite interesting, you know, to bring it, you know, back down. It was quite interesting, the fact that he was one of these survivalist characters in The Last of Us. But he was a bender. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That was intriguing. But when you've got, what was it, 6 or 8 episodes of Last of Us? And you wasted an episode on that. But if it was 26 or 13 or, well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
You know, do a character study on the two benders. All right, that's good. Cool. Yay. But when you've got 6 or 8 episodes, like, don't do that. Get on with it. Get on with it. Which Fallout and One Piece, got to admit,
pulled it off.
they're my two standouts, to be fair. Stand-ups.
Same.
They are, for me.
For a long time.
Just on a little side note, have you seen that Netflix has now acquired the Life on Mars?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So any of you out there who have not seen Life on Mars, Amber, you probably haven't. It's a BBC show.
I haven't seen it. I haven't even heard of it before. I'm looking it up right now.
Have you seen what's the series with what's the actor who goes everyone in Leon?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, neither do I.
What's the actor? There's a film called Leon, and he goes everyone, the British actor.
What, Gary Oldman?
Yes, right. What's the series he's in?
The horses one.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Yeah.
Slow horses.
Slow horses, right. If you like that,
okay.
Life on Mars was the original, was the OG about 10 years ago, where a guy, he's a copper in England, he travels back into, he gets jarred back into time and you don't quite know what's going on. But anyway, it's a modern policeman put into 1970s England policing, which is no forensics, no...
trying to do his job without technology. Okay.
And he gets put back in, and it's on Netflix. And I did, do you know what? I started watching it again and I thought, wow, this is... But perhaps that's showing my age. I just, yeah, because it's a young kid and he's going, so in the first episode, he goes, right, so have we got we've got the fingerprints, and they're all smoking fags in the police station. They're all smoking their fags, and they're going, what? And he goes, well, have we got this, and have we got that? And they're all going, they're all looking at each other going, and he's the young guy that's travelled back in time, and they're all smoking their fags, looking at each other going, what's he talking about? What's he talking about? And it is, I'm probably not talking it up enough, but it really was a good, it made.
So what are they doing, a remake? What's going on?
No, it's
just on Netflix now.
Netflix have obviously just bought it from
acquired. Okay.
Yeah.
And and we don't need to see, because they did do a follow-on series. I forget what it was called.
It's not on American Netflix.
Oh,
VPN.
That's a bummer.
VPN.
You
okay,
might have
under more like this, it has Rebel Moon. Why would it?
It sounds like your phone has been listening to our chat.
Glass. Okay, I don't under this.
Yeah, life on Mars. And they
okay, well, it's got Monk. That was funny. I didn't get into Monk, but I know it was cute and fun. I liked Psych, which was its partner show. Oh my gosh, make this shut up. There we go.
Oh,
okay.
What happened to Resident Alien, Amber?
I think the new season, isn't it? It's got to be out. I didn't. So you have to like buy each episode as it comes out. I'm like, forget this. I'm gonna wait till the whole thing's out and find where I can get it all at once. I'm not one of those people who waits for episodes. I hate that. But that show is good. It's funny. I
remember you recommending it.
Every single episode was genuinely funny. Like I don't know how many times I come across like a comedy show like this where I come away and I'm actually laughing several times in each episode.
And one thing I did not know, and I don't know if you know, that is from a comic.
Oh, I did know. I just never,
Why would you not tell me that, Amber?
I'm sorry. I assumed you would know. You're the comic man.
Don't you put that back on me.
To be fair, she's got a point. How did you not know that?
No, she batted that. Do you know what? If we was playing a game of tennis, she just went.
To be fair, I'm going to back Amber on this. How do you not know that?
No, because it was so I thought, oh, I've so much respect for Amber that I'm going to look into this Resident Alien stuff. And then it said, oh, it's from a comic. And I thought, oh, I wonder if Amber knows that. But no, she batted it back to me. So I'm going to bat that back. Anyway, I don't want to watch it now. It sounds like crap.
I didn't know it was a comic until I watched the first episode and I was like, this is so good. And then it said based on the comics. Like, what? So I went and I looked it up. I know it's taking a lot of liberties though. It's not, it's basically just based on it. It's not an adaptation of them, if that makes sense.
So I know you recommended it, Amber, to be fair. I know you recommended it, and I don't know what I stumbled on. And it said like it was a comic, and I thought, oh, I will use this against them.
Alan Tudyk is like shining through this entire thing. It's so funny. He's so funny. I didn't know that he was this funny, if that makes sense. Like I knew he's a funny guy. I just didn't know he had this in him, and he's perfect. So I just go watch it. I can't even describe it. Like if I tell you like it's about an alien who's, disguised as a human living in like a small town, supposedly in Colorado. And he's the town doctor and he's super smart. So he figures out how to actually be a good doctor really fast, but he has to like learn on YouTube and stuff. He has no bedside manner whatsoever. And it's very awkward. And then you find out he's there to destroy the world or at least to kill off all the humans.
Yeah.
So it's funny. And he's like dealing with living in a human body and like having human emotions and stuff for the first time. So it's like a combination of things that people really love, and it's just done so well. And I'm enjoying it a lot. And all the side characters are funny too. It does get kind of political, but because the characters were so interesting and likable, it didn't bother me. Like I was kind of like, they didn't have to go there, did they? But then I was like, oh, that was brief, and then it moved on, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean overtly political? I thought when I said, oh,
no, I mean, like,
meant like it was a bit like,
well, like the main girl is coming out of an abusive relationship, and at one point she goes something, he says something like the alien is like trying to beg her to stay or something, and she's like, wow, you're really doing this whole human male thing really well or something. And I don't know, I'm just like, oh, I roll my eyes because it was like, you know, one line. But the thing is her situation is well written, you know, like it's just like they put the one sour line in there. It was like, that didn't need to be there. We could have gotten, you know, everything that we needed just from the context, and it just was like, but everything else is so funny and so good that I didn't care about that. I was like, whatever, you know, I can overlook that because I'm enjoying the rest of it so much. That's all I have to say about that.
Well, I will endeavour to
It's
check,
definitely worth it. It is fun.
Especially now it's from a comic. I will endeavour to check that out. But that's about it.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
I think so.
There's not much else happening, really, is there? Oh, other than Lord of the Rings re-released back into the cinemas.
I think that's been quite balanced. I think we've had a whinge, we've had a gush, we've had a cough and a choke.
We've had caveat adjacent.
Yeah. I think it is it's freeze frame time.
Okay.
I think this is like the quickest one we've ever done, isn't it? What are we, an hour and 45 minutes?
Did we? Well, no.
Oh, come on, I was fucking freeze.
Oh, sorry, was you freeze framing?
You freeze framing?
No,
I just thought you'd had a stroke.
The originals were shorter. The first ones we did were shorter.
That's
about
true.
an hour and 10.
Yeah, that's true.
Were they? But that was just me and you, Liz.
Yeah, pretty much. But then, no,
we didn't have these amateurs that didn't know when to freeze. These amateurs. I mean, look at one of them's freeze framing already with her glasses. Look, a little emoji on a.
I forgot I have all these like stills of me like posing for the camera for my thumbnails, and I was like, I could just put whatever one I feel like is most appropriate up there. This works perfectly. Like, let's see.
But you just spoke over the freeze frame. I was doing the second. That was the.
You're doing it again?
I was saying about the Lord of the Rings.
This is worse.
Yeah,
this is
that's
the worst
what I thought.
Lord of the Rings.
Are we freeze framing yet?
Re-release Lord of the Rings. It's important.
Yes, in theaters. You guys are all going.
Oh, I'll put that in the thumbnail. Taters wants his second breakfast.
Yes.
He wants his Taters wants his second breakfast longer.
But longer, yeah. Go on then, shall we do your freeze frame?
No, I don't want to do it now. I want to keep talking. And I want to say
slow-mo.
Slow-mo?
I don't know.
Oh, now you get it. Oh, brilliant. Nice one, guys.